We're the #1 Century 21 in the Southeast and 16th in the world out of 8,600 offices. I saw a Century 21 truck out in the parking lot. Is that someone in the room? Yeah, I love it. All right.
So here's why his advice is so important. How you motivate multiple people, what strategies you share in a competitive market that all of us can apply, even when we're not in the real estate business, for our own business. So Mike, I'm gonna read it from here. Mike is a dad. I met your kids. Yes. I met his wife. Wonderful people. But what I didn't know is you were a baseball coach as well.
Yep, I coach both my kids. I played through college, so baseball has been a passion of mine. And so I had 2 little boys, and I said, you know what? I'm not going to push them into baseball. I'm going to let them pick. And both went into baseball, and they literally, I cannot get them to play anything else. I've tried. That's all they want to do. So I'm happy, but yeah, I spent a lot of time on a baseball field.
Mike heads all the branding and marketing for Century 21 Beggins. Where your offices are located?
So we have 10 offices that span all the way to the beaches, South Tampa, Brandon, all the way through Sarasota and Longboat Key.
So just to start giving value to people here, to all these amazing people here. Beautiful faces today. Everybody's smiling.
They're all awake.
Yeah, yes.
I like it.
What is one thing that you think your guys are doing right that you advise them to do to capture the attention of their market?
Yeah, well, I think, so for context, like I started my first business at the age of 17 years old. We started I had a brother who was 6 years older than me. We started a brick and mortar sporting goods store, and we built that business on the back of email marketing and cold calling. That's where the attention was at that point in time. We grew that to multiple locations. I sold that. I was coming out of school. Since then, I headed up Ideal Image, the laser hair removal company, for 5 or 6 years. I've been in the mattress industry. I am now in real estate, and on the side, I also am the CEO of a holding company where we have 2 e-commerce brands, as well as, if you've seen the Pound Law Morgan & Morgan commercial, that Pound technology is our technology, so I own that. So my point being is, beyond just real estate, it doesn't matter. I don't care what business any of you are in, whether it's real estate or whether it's a brick and mortar flower shop, you need attention. That's it. Then, once you get attention, you need to build trust. And that's where the content comes in. So for all of you sitting in the room, I don't care what product or service you are selling, your content every single day needs to be focused around who is my consumer, number 1, who do I want to be my consumer, number 2, what do they care about, how do I bring them value, and when I do that, then I will build trust, and when I build trust, they will use my service or my product. Simple as that.
Amazing what he said. And before Mike came here, what I mentioned about the columns, that goes in column 2. So you get your goal clear, and everything that he said goes in column 2. You have to attract the right person. But talking about attracting the right customer, what is one thing that you see people struggling with when it comes to attracting the right person, the right customer?
Well, I think number 1, I think a lot of businesses struggle with identifying who that right customer is. And so in the real estate world, we always call it the squirrel syndrome, where they're constantly like, oh, look, oh, customer, oh, look, someone's over here. And you end up going in so many different directions that you end up not really succeeding in any of them, right? And so in real estate, how long have you been in the business?
8 months.
8 months, okay. So you've probably experienced this. It's super overwhelming, right? You go through the class, they teach you a bunch of crap, then you get in the brokerage and realize all that stuff is really crap and it's not really real estate. And then you get in there and it's like, okay, there's for sale by owners, there's expires, there's this, I can go door knock, I can go run Facebook ads. And it's so overwhelming that unless in real estate, and this is any business, unless you find your niche that I'm going to go and focus on this, you will never really succeed in any of your channels, right? So like as an example, for me, I'm a diehard Redskins fan, unfortunately. Wow, I didn't expect that kind of reaction. Man, I expected a little more empathy and like, oh man, we're sorry. But I am, right? So for me, I did a test for our agents. I'm not an agent. So I did a test where I literally did a video of me wearing a Redskins shirt, and Hail to the Redskins is playing in the background, and I just talked to my customer and then deployed that via Facebook ads to Redskins fans who live in Tampa. I had 6 leads in one day. We sold 3 of them. And literally that's all I did was, hey, Redskins fans. I talked about the Redskins for 3 minutes. And then, by the way, I'm in real estate. But that connection, right? So understanding that with social, you have the ability to say, you know what? As an agent, I only want to work with Redskins fans. You could literally say that. And then the key, though, and this is the hardest part, is I don't go make content that's for anything else other than Redskins fans. So this is where you're going to struggle, because you're going to say in the back of your head, well, what if they don't care about the Redskins? Then they're going to keep scrolling, right? Who cares? But if I only want Redskins fans, when a Redskins fan is scrolling and he sees some idiot in a Redskins shirt talking about the Redskins, he's going to stop. And then when he stops, he's going to realize there's connection there, right? That's the key. So I don't care if that's cooking. I don't care if that's puppies. I don't care what that is. You need to find your niche and create content that is going to engage with that niche.
Well said. This goes into what I mentioned earlier, what you stand for, what you stand against. The example I gave you guys about the business leader that started infusing the Christianity into his post. You have to be true to yourself. If not, marketing will work. It's just how fast you want your marketing to work for you.
Well, I mean, you'll be exposed. I mean, 100%. Like, we had an agent come to me the other day. He's 22 years old, super young. He's got a nose ring. And he came to me and said, should I take it out? And I said, that depends. Do you have pictures of everything on Instagram, Facebook where it's in? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, guess what? They're going to know you have a nose ring. Like, this isn't like, there's no fooling someone. So I think that's where a lot of people get caught, is we try and change who we are because we think that's who we need to be for that consumer. My advice is screw that consumer, because there's 10,000 other people over here that are going to relate to your nose ring and love it, and you're going to get business because of it.
Early, before you came in, somebody started asking about authenticity. Do you think, and now that you mentioned that, you think that's it's one of the struggles that most of us face because we put the business hat on, we try to be too polished instead of being who we are in the personal level?
I think that has a lot to do with it. I think self-awareness has a lot to do with it. I think caring what other people think has a lot to do with it. I think a lot of people in here won't post something because they think Johnny is going to think it sucks and make a mean comment. So I think a lot of us pander to likes on Instagram versus actually just posting what we believe in and where we want to take the business. And, the fact of the matter is, when you're building something, if you haven't posted, how many people are posting on a social platform for business every single day? Right. Now, newsflash, how many of you are on a social platform consuming every single day? A lot more hands. So that's the part I can't figure out. And that's where I think it comes back to, we know that the attention's there. We're there as consumers, yet we're not there with our business. And I think it's because we're holding ourselves back. So what I hear a lot is excuses. Oh, I don't have time. I don't know. I heard that I should only post at 12 o'clock. And, I posted yesterday and no one liked it, so no one cares. Like, I see that every day. And those are excuses and reasons to not do. And I think a lot of it just comes down to, when you're building something, if you get 5 likes, those are 5 people who saw your business that didn't see it yesterday, right? Like, I think we over-index. Like, we have a pretty big following across all of my businesses and channels. We probably have 100,000 followers, and I could care less. I couldn't even tell you what the exact number is. I really couldn't, and I don't care. The reality is, if I get 10 people, 5 people, 1 person to see my business that did not see it the day before, that's a success.
That's a win.
That's a win. Absolutely.
Share it. What was the last tactic you shared with your group, with your agents, that produced an amazing result?
So the biggest thing is that I think we've seen a huge impact in real estate, but really any business, is leveraging Messenger on these platforms as a communication tool, not as a sales tool. And that goes for social in general. I see it so often. Every post is an ad, right? The reality is, you have Facebook ads and Instagram ads for a reason. They separate the paid and the organic for a reason. You want to sell something, go run a Facebook ad, right? But when you're communicating, if your pitch every day is a sales pitch, you will lose. You have to leverage these tools to communicate. But keep in mind, you have Messenger on Facebook, which has 90% open rates. And it's a one-on-one direct communication. So the reason that most people aren't using it is it's not scalable, right? I can't reach 1 million people. No, you can't, but you're not reaching 1 million people anyways. So stop complaining about it. Go one-on-one, right? I could literally digitally stalk. It's legal, I checked. I could go to you. I could go to you right now, right? Learn about you, and then message you with some value and context to you to say, hey, I saw that you have a son. How is he doing? How old is he? Like, those are things that we could do on a one-on-one basis.
Social reconnaissance is a powerful tool, and people don't use it. Like, before I even do a follow-up call to an existing client, I look what they're posting online. And then in my initial call, hey, Mike, how's it going? I saw you did a baseball. Did you win? And then we connect. We create that rapport, even if they're existing client. But a lot of business owners, they are not taking the time to look what their clients are doing. They're just going straight to the pitch.
100%. But I think a lot of times, too, it's the way you position it. So there are some people sitting in this room like, well, I'll seem creepy. I don't want to do that. Okay. Well, there's another way to handle that, though, right? If I go to his page and see that he's got a son, which you do, I met him, he's great. If I go to there and I see you have a kid, now I know that you have a boy, I have a boy. I don't even need to mention your kid, but I know that on that call, if I mention, yeah, I was just out on a baseball field with my kid, we love baseball. Like, you're instantly like, oh, I have a kid, I have a son too. How, like, and it's knowing what button do I need to push on that call. Oh, you're from New Jersey? Cool, so am I. Like, so now I know that if on that call I mentioned, yeah, I was born in New Jersey, I am so glad to be down in Florida though. Like, those little things where if you know what direction you can potentially build a contextual relationship, that's it. But context is king in a social environment.